Hello, I am making 6 movie reviews today, and I'm going to add a 7th one at the end. We just have this. Universal Collection Studios, whatever you call it, Classic Monsters. It has Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, and the Mummy with Boris Karloff. Interesting fact, I'm not sure how true this is, but I heard it and I believe it. They said you can tell that Boris Karloff is uncomfortable with the mummy in the movie, I think is what they said. And if you actually look at Boris Karloff's history, his mother was actually from Pakistan. I think. East Pakistan. Which I think was Bangladesh? Or maybe Pakistan, East Pakistan. Which means, technically, if she was from Pakistan, that would make his mother Middle Eastern. And they were portraying Middle Easterns as Middle Easterners as really bad stereotypes in this movie, like singing while digging up tombs for the British Museum. And I heard that you can tell that he's not really that excited about the movie, but he's still doing it. I'm not sure how true that is, but until I'm proven otherwise, I'm going to believe it. But I love all these movies, minus The Mummy, because that was actually kind of hard to watch. It was just, stereotypes, and the British Museum being seen as a good guy. Maybe I didn't get the idea. I think they portrayed it as a good guys, or as like a force that wasn't the bad guy. And if you know history, the only way you should ever portray the British Museum is as a bad guy, because the British Museum were they stole a lot of everything they have. But yeah, let's go back. The Wolfman, interesting. I only watched this like twice. I can't get around it, but I can definitely see that it is underrated. But to me, it's just hard to watch because I have bad attention span. But it's a cool movie. A little bit stereotypical, but pretty cool. After getting in like conflict with the gypsy, he ends up becoming the Wolfman. I think that's what happens. I'm going off the login. I'm going off the noggin based off what I've read on Reddit about the movies, because, see, I'm a type of person that can't exactly make my own opinions. So I like going to Reddit, and then I form my opinion there. Alongside that. Frankenstein is about... we're not still on the Wolfman. So he and these are all spoilers, by the way. Yes, spoilers. So the guy's like a decent guy, minus like forcing yourself into a woman's life, aka like saying, "Oh, well, why don't you date me? Hey, why don't you date me? Hey, why don't you date me?" Which today would be eligible for a restraining order, and without being judged doing a restraining order, do it. But yeah, it's an interesting movie. It ends with his father doesn't believe him, think he's like a crackpot, and then it ends with the father beating to death the Wolfman, and then he looks down and sees it turn into his son, and then he's like, "The Wolfman was my son. Wow," and then realizes that his son was telling the truth the whole time, and that's actually really sad. Frankenstein. This was dark for a movie made in the 30s, And, yeah, I mean, it was made in 1931, so I guess it was made in the Great Depression, but it was also made in the time when a certain someone's gaining popularity, so I guess that would mean it's a pretty dark time. But it was a really dark movie. Like, it pans into the room when the door opens, you can see Victor Frankenstein's like right-hand man just hanging from a noose, and it's just like I think he's like slowly spinning or something. I can't remember the details, and that's just like really creepy. I might be mixing up like mood fan animations of it with like this. I don't know, but like I love this movie. Boris Karloff is one of the most amazing actors of the I wouldn't say the silver. Yeah, I would say one of the most amazing actors of the silver screen, in my opinion. And it's basically just about this small town and the guy who creates a monster, and then he just realizes that it's insane and he needs to kill the monster. Dracula. It's basically just, an interesting read. Fun fact about Dracula, the book made was actually most likely an anti-Semitic allegory for the Jews. That's what I've heard. I'm not sure how true that is, but that's true. If that's true, Bram Stoker should not have a Bram Stoker award named after him. I'm just gonna say that much. That I don't think he deserves. He seems like a bad person to me. But Dracula was an amazing movie. And you have Renfield, who just goes insane. And you have Count Dracula, played by Bela Lugosi, who is generally creepy. And I remember watching a movie, like a little special feature here. This isn't the one I was going to talk about, but White Zombie, Bela Lugosi was also really good in. And I just want to say, Dracula is definitely to be watched. It's just about the vampire ravaging a city, basically, and killing people. And then you have The Mummy, which is Boris Karloff. The mummy comes alive, and then it's Boris Karloff. And then he's trying to get the woman, because the woman is apparently a pharaoh reincarnated. I don't even know what was going on. Skipping over that one. Bride of Frankenstein, I did not watch. I stopped once the homunculi came over. It just threw me out. The Invisible Man. Now, this movie, all the jokes are really dated. Like, not, like, inappropriate, but, like, not funny by today's standard. Because it's just, like, loud noises and stuff. But that was a really funny movie. Especially with the innkeeper and stuff. That was a pretty funny movie. And I loved it. It's just about a guy named Griffin who creates an invisibility serum. Except the thing is, in the invisibility serum, it makes him slowly go insane. And then he just becomes a murderer who wants to take over the world. And it's just a really good movie from the 30s. And honestly, all of these movies I think are from the 30s, except for The Wolfman, which was, I think, from 1941. And in reality, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all 6 of these movies I like watched in like a single day. Maybe even a day and a half. I just kind of binged them. These were really, really good movies. These are really good movies. And I give it even to The Mummy, which I'm not going to watch again because I don't support the British Museum and how the Egyptians were, you like portray them as like singing as they're digging up the tombs, and Egyptians being from Africa, I don't think that's a good stereotype you should be perpetuating, since Africans singing while doing work is kind of a very racist stereotype. If it's slavery, if it's not slavery related, it's always a racist stereotype in my eyes, and that should not ever be in a movie. Even from this time, I feel like that would have been considered quite racist. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hours of bonus features, which I will be honest, I have not watched the bonus features yet. The only sad part is The Invisible Man. I accidentally scratched up because they have these pegs they place them on, and I kept on missing, and I decided to put them in the sleeve. Every time I want to watch them, I'm going to pop them in the sleeve, because I keep on scratching up the films, and The Invisible Man is now, it needs to be thrown away, sadly. The only reason I'm keeping on to it is in the slight chance that I get the device that kind of cuts off the bottom of the DVD, makes it into a new DVD again, which I'm probably never going to be able to afford. I will keep that just in case, but being honest, yeah, it's not going to happen. And it just says, right here, and I'm just going to read this, 6 original classic monster movies. From the era of silent movies through present day, Universal Pictures has been regarded as the home of the monsters. The Universal Classic Monsters collection showcases 6 of the most iconic monsters in motion picture history, including Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, the Bride of Frankenstein, and the Wolfman, starring Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney Jr., Claude Rains, and Elsa Lanchester in the roles that they made famous. These original films set the standard for a new horror genre and revolutionary makeup, mood-altering cinematography, and groundbreaking special effects, featuring hours of revealing bonus features. Each film has been digitally remastered for an unforgettable classic monster experience. It's not rated, but if I could rate these movies today will probably be rated PG, all of them. They're not really, like, that scary. There's only a couple images in each movie, maybe like one image in each movie that kind of sticks with you. But other than that, it's horror that is digestible and that theoretically you can show an 8-year-old as like their first Halloween with horror movies, if you really wanted to. And hours of bonus features, documentaries, expert commentaries, interviews, production photographs, archive materials, and more. And I think, oh, it says G right here, MPG. Yes, it says not rated, but it says PG and G right here, which is a rating. I don't get what that means now, Lon. But yeah, they're nothing special. The pictures. It has like this timestamp on it, how long they are. They're just like black discs that have the name, some logos, and the time that it's on. The Mummy is 1:33 1 minute. 1:33 1 minute for Dracula. 1:33 1 minute. Wait a minute. That's a frame. It's not the timestamp. Never mind, I was completely wrong. That's a frame. I just look like a complete ass clown now. No, yeah. It's just DVD video. These are not Blu-ray. I can't afford that because I am unemployed and am a bum. So, classic monster collection. And now, like I promised, the one movie I said I was gonna review as a special feature, and that is New England. I'm not sure I said feature. I'm from New England. Sometimes I say stuff like that. If I'm a New Englander that was born in 1940s. Singing in the Rain. That is a movie about and I need to censor myself, an absolute you-know-what of a human being with a really annoying voice, and she's a silent film star. And so, what she does is she just tries to screw over the female love interest, and stuff like that. And it's a funny movie. I'm not going to give any spoilers for this one, but I'm going to say Singing in the Rain, honestly, is an amazing movie. And finally, for the recommendation of the day, I have a historical movie in filmmaking you need to watch, and that is Seven Samurai. See ya later. Have a good day.